Early voting is underway across the state for the November 4th election. And if you live in one of these 9 school districts that we're about to show you, one of the items that you'll see on the ballot is something called a VATRE. It's also known as a voter-approved tax rate election. It might be listed as a prop on your ballot. So what is it, and why are districts asking for more money after the passage of HB 2 over the summer? Well, Learning Curve's Lacey Beasley is here to explain.
A VATRE is complicated and is different from a bond. A VATRE is a tax rate election, and it contributes to the school district's general fund. It can be used on various day-to-day items like raises, salaries, and student programs like career training classes. A bond is also approved by voters, but unlike VATREs, this money helps districts pay off debt, fund school renovations, or building new facilities. Now let's look at how public schools are funded. Think of funding like filling up a glass of water. The water in the glass represents the amount of money the Texas legislature allocates for each student. The water is poured from 2 pitchers. One pitcher is from local property taxes. The other is from state funds like sales taxes, business taxes, and lottery proceeds. But the size of the school district's glass is almost entirely determined by the state legislature. And the amount of state money contributed to the school district's budget is contingent on revenue from local property taxes. So if the district collects more local property taxes, it receives less state funding. If a district collects more than their entire budget with local property taxes, the state will recapture the additional money and put it into another pitcher set aside to be used for other state costs. So when property taxes go up, the money isn't always reinvested into schools. Now, over the summer, the state legislature passed HB 2, infusing $8.5 billion into public schools. But some school districts say that still isn't enough because half of that went to teacher pay raises.
We have a 2-year budget here in Texas, so that was really a little over $4.2 billion per year going into our school funding system when they hadn't really adjusted school funding formulas since the 2019 legislative session.
Now, this is Bob Popinski. He's Dean of Policy at Raise Your Hand Texas, which is a nonprofit that advocates for public schools.
So school districts were starting off a little bit behind the 8 ball to have the same type of purchasing power than they did during the 2019 school year. In fact, about $1,400 below what they had in the 2019 school year. So while that $8.5 billion was a historic amount of funding coming in, it still wasn't quite what they needed to keep up with inflationary pressures and other community demands on their school district.
Now, for those districts asking for the VATRE, that money will stay in the district and cannot be recaptured.